The Truck Series has always been a staple on the channel since 2015, and now 9 years later, since the first running of what was then the Napa Truck Series, we begin the 10th season of Turkey Hill Truck Series competition. It has evolved in many ways since the first race, but the heart of what we come here for is still there, to put on a great racing series with these trucks, and we're excited for this season. Once again, ratings in play. We have Cup drivers, Cup owners, and some new faces in the field. It's going to be a great fall for these 36 truck drivers as we begin the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series here tonight in the Featherlite Trailers 250 at Daytona. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway, leading up to tomorrow night's Valvoline 400. What an important race that is in the Wawa Cup Series. But tonight, our focus is on the opening race of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and we'll be rolling every week until Christmas Day with the finale at Homestead. Tonight, the season begins, and it's wide open in who can win this title race, especially considering all the different little alliances and things we've got going on, and who better to have in the booth for all of that discussion than Stuart Gren and Matt Tuck. Of course, Stuart, the owner of Grattan Autosport, Matt Tuck, the owner of Celsius Team Velocistar. Obviously, you guys affiliated going into this season, and you're also bringing in affiliations with Web Racing Enterprises and Parker Davis Enterprises. So, as you were telling me, Matt, at the start of the show, you essentially have 8 trucks in the field for this race and for the whole season. What are your expectations for your guys, of course the top 2 guys in the Wawa Cup Series points right now, and the rest of the Grattan Autosport affiliation going through this season?
Well, I mean, you know, you do the math. I mean, when you have affiliations with 22% of the entire grid, I mean, it increases your chances of victory. So I think as an entire alliance, I think we're very, 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 very excited. And I think on a just our 2 truck front, I mean, I think, you know, we're very excited seeing that the 2 guys I have driving for me have 7 wins and 20 plus something top 5s and top 10s in the Cup Series. Oh, and are 1-2 in the points.
And Stuart, of course, one of those drivers is your driver in the Wawa Cup Series in Ludovic Charette, but you also have 2 drivers in this truck series as well, Nicholas Sambidio and Derek Hamill, who won this race a year ago. And I'll shift gears to this race in particular. Daytona, a big wildcard race, especially early on in the season when the ratings are still pretty close to each other, though we did have that range in the ratings that you drivers and owners selected going into this race, so a little bit more of a gap between some of these teams and drivers at the beginning of this season compared to last year. But regardless of the fact, what do you need to do to win here at Daytona? Derek Hamill won this race from 9th last year. Will he be able to get it from the 31st starting position here tonight?
Yeah, well, it's entirely possible. You've got to do a lot of work, particularly early on, where you know the inside lane is definitely the place to be at the start. But then the outside lane, find the grip up there, and you can get those runs on the outside. I think when you look at it, you've got to be aggressive, but you can't be reckless. So you've got to find that fine line, but you've got to make the moves at the right time. Derek last year, he was on the outside. He was able to get clear of the inside. He was second on the outside, clear the inside, got past Roberto Crown Jr., and then those 2 had a great battle to the end. So we'll see what happens in terms of how they go about it, particularly with the ratings being a bit different, and really this is the first time for a lot of these, or for all of us really, with the new ratings format. So we'll see what ends up playing out, but I think the key here is timing and making your moves at the right time.
And it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. This race went caution-free last year, and there's a good chance it could go caution-free again this year, but you never know how it could play out. It's Daytona. It could be a wild one, and I know all these drivers are ready to get going. We had qualifying a little bit earlier on in the day, and the new qualifying format that we debuted, and Had single car runs for the top 6 drivers, and Eric Monaco won the pole. And new for this season, and we're looking to add it on to the Wall Cup Series next year, is a bonus point for winning the pole, and that's what Monaco did. So he comes into this race with a 1-point lead on the entire field. That'll all change once we're done with the race here after 25 laps, of course, and it's going to be fascinating to see who ends up in victory lane here tonight. We'll go through the field here for you folks, and we've got Eric Monaco on the 28 starting on the pole position there for TP Motorsports. You got Zachary Fitzwater for Herschel Motorsports starting alongside him. Rogeldorn in the 98 for Trackhouse Racing this year, and Skylar Taylor. First time they have run in a rating series full-time. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do with the newly formed OSC Racing, owned by BB Ruiz. We got Bruno Diacomo in the number 3 to the inside of Corey Case in the 59. And here we go. This is the first of the many Gradden-affiliated motorsport teams here tonight. Ludovic Charette there for Team Velocistar in the number 2. The defending champion of the Turkey Hill Truck Series won the title last year with Beacon Quantum Racing. She starts alongside the number 6 of Jack Haas for Parker Davis Enterprises, another Gradden Industries or Gradden Autosport affiliated team. Laura Chung in the number 4, driving for Herschel Motorsports alongside Blaine Keys, who won 3 of the last 6 races last year here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, returning the Team Velocistar this season. Nicholas Samadeo to the inside of Bryce Egan in the number 5. Then we've got ourselves the 05 of LJ Cimento, the Daytona 500 champion from earlier this season, also driving for Dracoan Racing Enterprises with Bryce Egan to the inside of Justin Zaidel, teammate 2, Eric Monaco there at TP Motorsports. We got Skep Silver in the Parker Davis Enterprises truck, the 06 to the inside of Aaron Abel in the 25. Leonard Koshmer, his first full-time run on the channel, driving for Evans Ross Racing. These guys are absolutely going to be fast this year and will definitely contend with the Gradden Autosport drivers this season. You got Joe Rakowski, who will also contend as well as he was second in the points last season, driving for Millennium Motorsports in the 36. Nathan Stapleton is back with Triad Racing, another very strong team that will be competing for wins this season alongside Andrew Miller there in the 69 for Durrani Racing. Avery Alford for Stover Motorsports in the 27 to the inside of Emily DeBenedetti. First career start for her, development driver for Alex Savantali and his many drivers, but his first full-time run with a driver on the channel for Andrews Racing right there. There's the truck that won the championship last year. It's driven by Matthew Burnett this season. That's the Beacon Quantum Racing number 14. And Matthew Burnett only his 3rd career start on the channel. Starting to the inside of Andrew Williams, who won twice last year. He makes the move over to Broke Boys Garage for this season. Matthew Hubert driving the 52. That was the truck driven by Andrew Williams last year, Durrani Racing, to the inside of Roberto Crown Jr. in the 01, who finished 10th in the points last season with Stover Motorsports. Got Jesse Turner full-time in the field for the 83 in Andrews Racing alongside Logan Williams, who makes the move over to Triad in the 72. Philip Torres is back with Millennium Motorsports in the 44 to the inside of Caleb Rose in the 33 for Broke Boys Garage. There's a defending Featherlite Trailers 250 winner of Derek Hamill to the inside of Christian Vargas in the 24. And then we got the 93 of Thomas Troxel for Evans Ross Racing, the 99 of Brian Webb for Webb Racing Enterprises. Agar Barreto back with Webb Racing Enterprises as well the 13, and Duncan Ward. First full-time season for Duncan Ward. I know that he's excited for this one. We'll see what he can do as the teammate to Matthew Burnett at Beacon Quantum Racing. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here for the opening race of the season here at Daytona. And Matt and then Stewart. It's going to be an interesting night with these drivers for opening night of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. You've seen the field. Who do you think is going to victory lane here in this Featherlite Trailers 250?
Well, I think you're going to need some track position. I think you're going to need a bit of good luck. And I think you're going to need a bunch of teammates to win tonight. So when you have 7 other teammates working with you, I'm going to take Jack Haas in the number 6 for Parker Davis Enterprises. And I think Max Davis's boys are going to show out here and with a very strong debut tonight.
Yeah, I think you got to look at guys up in really about the top, maybe 7 or 8 rows. To be honest with you, track position is very, very important, particularly if this thing goes green to the end. LJ Cimento won the Daytona 500 earlier this year. He's had some good runs in the past at Daytona, and Dracoan have won at the Daytona 500 as well. So in a good position, right up there. I would expect him. I'm going to go with him for the race win tonight.
Not a bad pick. Of course, LJ and those guys at Dracoan Racing Enterprises, they're a team to watch out for. this season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And look, I know we're bringing in Matt and Stewart. The Grattan Autosport propaganda is all back. We're having fun with that. But there are a lot of other teams that could contend this year, like Evans Ross Racing, like Triad Racing. Broke Boys Garage is going to be strong as well. Watch out for Ashland Motorsports as well. They got Laura Chung in that 4 machine. I watch out for Laura, who won 4 times in the Truck Series 2 years ago. And hey, Millennium Motorsports, they were second in the points of Joe Rakowski last year. It's not all about Grattan, Velocity, Webb Racing Enterprises, Parker Davis Enterprises. It's going to be a very strong field, and we're going to see many different faces up front throughout this entire season. But we got a lot of faces up front for this one. They're led by Eric Monaco, who didn't even have a reserve to come back this season, but he signed up and he's back with the same team, and he would love to get some revenge on that and get a race victory here tonight. But he's got 25 laps to do it on the field. Here we go. The Turkey Hill Truck Series is underway for the 10th season, and we're green flag at Daytona in the Featherlite Trailers 250. And coming across the line, the outside lane, which clearly had the advantage in last night's Sprint Series race, gets the advantage to start off here tonight. That is Zachary Fitzwater for Harris Hill Motorsports, leading the first lap of the 2024 season. And Fitzwater won this race back in, I believe, either 2019 or 2020. I can't remember which year it was, but he has won this Featherlite Trailers 250 before, and he would love to do it again. As I mentioned in qualifying yesterday, has not really adjusted too well to the rating series, but a great opportunity for him to get this season started off on the right foot. But to the inside, Rogel Dorn, who won the last Super Speedway in the Truck Series at Talladega last December. Moving on to Trackhouse Racing, he's going to go ahead and take the race lead. And here comes your pick, Stewart. LJ Cimento on the inside lane. Leonard Kochmer, Nathan Stapleton on the inside. We're starting to see some guys up front. And already some 4 wide going on there between Ludovic Charette and Bruno Diacomo. Will Diacomo fall back in line, or are they going to remain 4 wide here?
Ooh, this is not where you want to be right here, 4 wide at Daytona. They kept it clean last year. I don't remember if they went 4 wide at all last year, but aggressive start early on. I think we see more movement up at the front of the field than we did last year. Guys like Kochmer and Stapleton going to the lead here. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy.
Alfred and Chung almost took each other out, and they're going to be 4 wide in 2 places coming off the corner here. This is something, like you said, Stuart, we didn't see it all last year, but are they going to be able to get out of this? Oh my goodness, they're so close. Matthew Hubert kind of has nowhere to go. Alfred is pushing him down, and there's no way they're going to be able to keep this going. But somehow, we're still green here at Daytona.
I have absolutely no... I mean, we saw in the Sprint Series with just 24 trucks, they tried to send some people across the lawn. I have no idea how we're doing this. This is an incredible turn of events. We saw in the Sprint Series...
Out around! Down the backstretch, Laura Chung gets sent. And hard into her was Samadeo Alford as well. Ludovic Charette going upside down in the 2. Flying down the backstretch. Not at all what you guys wanted to see here tonight, but there was just no way they were going to be able to keep that one straight after going 4 wide. And now they're 4 wide for the lead. Nathan Stapleton trying to take it away, and now they're going to wreck up front. Leonard Kochmer, LJ Cimento, and Rogel Dorn. And Kochmer's got some damage there. Will these guys be able to slow it down and avoid them? Caleb Rose unable to. Oh, brother. That was a mess, and we just went too long going 4 wide there. And they jammed up again in front of them with the 25, and they're still jamming up back in there. Duncan Ward just got into the back of Edgar Barreto, and Duncan's going to be out of this race, and a lot to sort out here. Derek Hamill's down the pit lane. Bryce Egan is done. Ludovic Charette is done. How did they go 4 wide for the race lead after they wrecked behind them? My goodness, that was crazy.
Talked about being aggressive but not reckless. That was definitely reckless right there by, I think, everybody really. There's so many good trucks torn up. Laura Chung and Andrew Williams. I think both of my guys were involved. Definitely Derek Hamill. I think the 23 got damaged. 33. I reckon Stapleton might be one of the only drivers without damage. I reckon he got away with it. Matthew Hubert did a very good job, Matthew Hubert, to not get caught up in any of the trouble. But you see Semedo, Orn, Monaco,
all with damage there.
That was not pretty.
That was not pretty at all. San Mateo got caught up in that one. Blaine, I think, got a piece of it there. Edgar Barreto got rear-ended. Logan Williams. It was bad enough we had the first wreck, and then we had the second wreck right after that as they were racing back to the line, and that's why they don't race back to the line in real life anymore. Andrew Williams is done in the 11. Laura Chung as well. My, oh my, that was crazy stuff. All right, well, we made up for having no wrecks in this race last year. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the caution here in the Featherlite Trailers 250. A huge wreck, and then another huge wreck. 2 big ones on lap 4 here at Daytona. Well, double 4 wide here at Daytona is not a good idea. Ludovic Charette, and this is our defending champion, and she was put in a bad situation and just barely got into Giacomo, and then all heck broke loose from there. Avery Alford got in the Laura Chung. They get sent around right there. Hubert misses it. Torres misses it right there. Derek Hamill gets a piece of it. Alford comes back down and massively slams in to Hamill. Bryce Egan, nowhere to go. Blaine Keys into the outside wall as well. It's the reason why we're falling with Ludovic. She got into Andrew Williams, and then that sent her truck upside down. And a wild tumble for Ludovic Charette. Not exactly what either of you guys wanted to see here tonight, but that is the nature of Daytona. If we saw that, or see that tomorrow night, it's going to have much higher implications, but what a wild ride there. But I must say, Stuart, you know, it gives us a very good view of that paint scheme, and I must say it is a great paint scheme there that I'm assuming you painted for Matt's team there at Celsius Team Velocitar. It's just a shame it had to get tore up like that, and Giacomo came in there on Ludovic as well. All right, and then, after that was all said and done, I mean, what on earth went on here? Stapleton, Kochmer, LJ Semedo, and Roldorn going 4 wide. I think Kochmer went up, and Stapleton was just like, I'm going to take the opportunity, and Kochmer and Semedo get into each other right here. And they go up into Roldorn in the 98 machines. A tough break for Rogel. Had a great starting position. Fitzwater got a piece of that one there in the 82 machine. Look at that, 82 right there. I think he saved it. And he did. But Kochmer goes around, and it's a shame because they could have easily avoided any more contact from here on out. Kochmer there in the 39 machine, sideways on the racetrack, and Caleb Rose nowhere to go on the 33, right into the 39 machine. That's going to take Caleb Rose out. And then further up right here, Igor Barreto in the 13. They're slowing down up ahead. That's Skep Silver that jammed the field up right there, and then Barreto got in the San Mateo, and that got the 25 of Aaron Abel caught up, and then Duncan Ward in the 18, another rookie driver right here, right into the rear of Igor Barreto. That's going to take Duncan Ward out. Oh boy, this ain't the ARCA series, guys. Come on, you guys are better than that. That was the extensive replay of that one. Let's replay it in real time here from the Daytona International Speedway.
A 4 wide, double 4 wide. Eventually, it was going to happen at some point. Just a little bit of contact there. Big chain reaction. Trucks all over the place. It was a big hit by Egan on Chung, and then the 2 flips over. A whole heap of times. And then, yeah, further up. Was that the 59 on the wall? I'm not sure. But then the 4 wide. Stapleton was on the inside there. And then this is more of what we typically see in the 4 wide crashes through the tri-oval here, and Koshima and Meadow, and Dawn, they all squeeze into each other. Fitzwater got a piece of it there, and then Koshima sideways on the racetrack. Monaco and Taylor did a good job there, and then it's the 33 of Caleb Rose who runs straight into it. And then Barretto and company are going to run into all this. The 25 of Abel runs in the back of Logan Williams. Adele, and then just to finish it all off as well, here comes 18. To be fair, I don't know why Barretto comes straight back up the racetrack and then right into there is Duncan Ward. And you saw Benedetti as well, got caught up in that in the 57. So, my goodness, there are not too many trucks that got away with no damage. I reckon it might be Stapleton, might be the 52 of Hubert, maybe the 44, and that's about it.
Yeah, it was,
lots of trucks put up.
Quite a bit. I think 14 drivers are going to be out of the race after this accident. I want to see how they got 4 wide the second time there with Stapleton and all that, and then we'll get back to racing here at Daytona. So right here, while we focused on the wreck that happens behind them, Stapleton then finds an opportunity, and they're kind of scrambling behind, and Stapleton tries to block Hubert, and then ends up in a 4-wide situation right there down the backstretch, which it carries all the way over to the start-finish line, and caused our second accident of this lap. Such a shame to see so many good trucks get taken out, but like I said, that's just the nature of Daytona sometimes, and yeah, that's what NASCAR wants, you know. That's how they roll, so we'll roll with it occasionally, I guess. Of course, Kochmer wished we didn't roll with it like that. Caleb Rose also going to be out of this race, and Igor Barretto as well. Tough break for all those guys, but Stapleton got the lead out of that one. And he's channeling his inner Austin Dillon, doing whatever it takes to win a race. Because here, y'all aren't in control of the truck, so whatever happens on the racetrack goes. If you were in control and you did something like that, we'd have a different conversation. But regardless of the fact, let's get back to racing here at Daytona. The Featherlite Trailers 250 going to get back underway here. Only 22 drivers still left in the lead lap here in the opening race of the season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We are back here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Featherlite Trailers 250. And after reviewing that accident, you can definitely see that we have taken out a very large chunk of the field. Aaron Abel, Justin Zeidel, Leonard Kochmer, Andrew Williams, Laura Chung, Caleb Rose, Igor Barretto, Logan Williams, Duncan Ward, Avery Alford, Bruno Diacomo, Matthew Burnett, Bryce Egan, and Ludovic Shred, who went flipping down the backstretch there. It leaves 22 drivers in the lead lap and 22 drivers in the race. They're led by Nathan Stapleton, who may have a few words with somebody, or someone may have a few words with him, for making that move going 4 wide for the race lead as they were racing back. Matthew Hubert is second. Philip Torrey, Zachary Fitzwater, Thomas Troxel, Skylar Taylor, Skep Silver, Jack Haas, Corey Case, and Jesse Turner, the top 10. Then Blaine Keys, Brian Webb, Emily DeBenedetti, Andrew Miller, Roberto Crown Jr., Derek Camel, Nicholas Samadeo, Rogel Dorn, LJ Semedo, Eric Monaco, Joe Rakowski, and Christian Vargas. Those are the 22 drivers still left in the race here at Daytona. One of those 22 is going to get the win. It might not be Derek, though. That 51 off the pace there. Just kind of interesting. He doesn't seem to have too much damage there on that 51, but definitely going to be a bit slower than he would have liked there trying to defend his Featherlite Trailers 250 win. All right, totally different race now for these guys. Much smaller field up front. And like you guys mentioned, not too many of these drivers got out of that without any damage. So those few drivers who did avoid contact, they're going to be the ones racing for this win here.
Well, this makes it a lot easier for Nathan Stapleton and some of these front runners to sort of field manage and, you know, as they say, control the bubble and control the lead of this race here. Because you need a really big push and a surge of momentum behind you in order to get around a car here in this style of racing at Daytona. And now you don't have a lot of cars, trucks, I mean, lined up to be able to do that. So it's going to take a big run, and it's going to take, I think it's going to take a little bit of, they need some things to go their way for the rest of these drivers, but it's going to be interesting to see how Nathan can hold on to this lead.
You got Philip Torres here running in second. Great run for Philip. It's not been the best of seasons for him in the Wall Cup Series, but he's back with Millennium Motorsports, his second full-time run here, and he had a great season last year with this team. So did his teammate Joe Rutkowski as well, who is back in the line right here. They're all trying to get in a single file line, hold the draft to hold on to the front pack, and I think they're going to be able to do it. You got Jack Haas leading this pack with Andrew Miller. Blaine Keys is still in this race, of course. That's the thing with your two guys, Matt. The top two guys in Wall Cup Series points. How does this affect what they do tomorrow? Probably not by much, but considering how close it is between those two drivers going into tomorrow night's Valvoline 400, I'm sure Ludovic did not want to get knocked out of this race and have her opportunities at getting some more practice get taken away like that. It's going to be interesting to see if anyone can get to Stapleton in this race, because just like you said, Matt, you got to have some momentum to be able to make the pass, and these guys continue the race for second on back. You got Hubert battling with Fitzwater there. Thomas Trox on this outside lane. How about Corey Case, who won the Sprint Series race here in February? He knows how to get it done at Daytona, and he's in the top 5.
Yeah, he's having a very nice run in that 59. Both of those OSC cars, OSC trucks rather, in this front group with Skylar Taylor in the 58 as well. But you look at Stapleton, of course, Stapleton was a driver that was, in the top, I think it was top 5 at the end of last season in points. Didn't get a win, but was ultra competitive. Expected to be right up there again. It would be a great result for, considering some of the drivers that have been knocked out, if he was able to pull it off. But Philip Torres going to the lead in the 44. He had a pretty good season with Millennium last year in the trucks, and obviously has had a not quite as strong of a season in Cup. He's shown some flashes, but never quite been able to, to be able to match, I suppose, Matthew Hubert, for example, his teammate. But as you can see there, he couldn't quite get that run to stick on that inside. He didn't have any help, but Stapleton was able to use the outside to his advantage, and now here comes Case in the 59 to the inside, and this is where our hopes are placed at the moment. Skep Silver in the 06 for Parker Davis on that inside as well.
Yeah, of course, you guys have multiple affiliations, but of course, Parker Davis, owned by Max Davis, his first run as an owner on the channel, but what better affiliation to have than with Grad Motorsport to start off owning a race team? And of course, I know this team's going to be strong, especially with Jack Haas. We know how good Jack Haas will be. This is Skep Silver's first career start, and we always talk about the drivers making their first career starts, running very well in their first career starts. Well, Skep Silver is top 3 right now, looking to take second away from Stapleton as he pushes Corey Case to the race lead there. I would like to mention that we got Jesse Turner in this pack here. How about Jesse? It has not been a good season for him in the Wall Cup Series. His return to racing on the channel. 25 career wins. He's looking for number 26 here tonight. Couple behind Sam Medeo and Fitzwater, but you know what? This 83 machine at Jesse could very well find himself in victory lane for John Andrews here tonight if he finds himself in the right position. Meanwhile, we're going to see here, these guys, they're a little ways ahead of our race leaders, but I think we will run into lap traffic before this race is over. Christian Vargas and Derek Campbell in the back there, they've got significant damage from their incidents. And then you got this pack right here. All these guys have mild damage. They're led by Roberto Crown Jr., but the problem is they are not gaining any time on the lead draft. And if this thing stays the way it currently does, it's going to be one of these drivers from this lead pack winning this race, and it could be Corey Case there in the 59 machine who's leading this outside lane. We got ourselves 12 laps to go here in this Featherlite Trailers 250 at Daytona.
There's a lot of interesting names up here. I mean, Corey Case, who's missed a couple starts in the Sprint Series this year, but it's been his numbers have been unbelievable for a guy who's missed, I think, 3 or 4 starts. Skep Silver up here, first career start. I mean, it helps that when your first career race is at Daytona and anything can happen, but this is still a very strong run here. And then you've got, I was going to go lead there with Jesse Turner in the 83 who's hanging around up here. Has not had a good Cup season by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, maybe a little bit of a momentum shift here to start the season for him here in this number 83 machine. And we talk about that second pack that is rapidly losing time. It was 2.8 seconds last time around. It's 3.8 seconds. I kind of got a feeling we're going to be ticking over 4.5 here. The one thing, though, that could slow them up is 5 seconds. Goodness gracious, they have no pace in that second pack, but you never know. There's 2 lap trucks running around here side by side currently. That could shake things up very quickly.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to run into them here very soon as well, and Vargas and Hamill are not getting away from each other as they remain side by side. So this could get very dicey up front for these guys, and hey, we've seen that come into effect here at Daytona many times in the past. It is always a huge issue here around this racetrack. The lap traffic, not as much of the case at Talladega, ironically, but always at Daytona we have a big wreck like that. We had a couple cars, a couple trucks that are off the pace. They always get in the way. And here we go. Corey Case. Now, the good thing for Corey, he's got single file on these guys. Will he take him 3 wide? Oh, no. He's getting held up here. And both Vargas and Hamill holding up this entire pack. And you know, a big reason why we see this happen. You know, we used to run the unrestricted engines. These guys used to go well over 200 miles per hour. Now that we restrict the engines, we have that super speedway rating come into effect. The racing's a lot different. It's actually a lot harder for these guys to get the momentum around the lap traffic. This is perfect for this second pack. Trying to close in, they were 6 seconds off. And so far, nobody from the lead pack has gotten around the lap cars. Skep Silver's going to try it here on Vargas and Hamill. But still, not enough of momentum right there. And these guys, they want to stay on the lead lap just in case a caution comes out and get their lap back. But even though it's not going to mean too much because they're really very much so off the pace right here. These guys are really jamming up here. And now you got LJ Sameto leading this pack. And at this rate, they're going to close back in. They closed in 4 seconds that lap as Fitzwater goes 3 wide for the race lead. Will he be able to get around the lap traffic? Not quite yet. And these guys are going to get right back in this thing. Here they come.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there with Skep Silver. I don't know why he's made the moves. They run up on the slow car, slow trucks, so the slow pack in front. My goodness, this is quite remarkable. Fitzwater, in his experience of veteranocity, decided he had enough of that, and he went right around the 51-24. The 06 here has got to make a move, and now Turner's going to go to the inside here in the 83, and with how these guys are stacking up back here, I mean, it's great for Fitzwater and Skylar Taylor. They were the two that have got away, and now here we go. Now we're in a bit of trouble.
Oh no!
Wide.
Oh
Taylor's,
no!
Sorry, Silver's got a bit
Skep's
of
going to split them, and Skep's going to get around in the 06. That was a very interesting sequence right there. Now the middle lane is going to end up getting the advantage here. Jesse Turner in there, Matthew Hubert, Thomas Troxel, Nicholas Sambidio. Virtual Crown Jr. sees that. He's going to try to split the middle lane. And these guys, if they can get formed up in a line, they'll actually have a chance at getting back up to the rest of the pack. And Vargas will finally get out of the way. Wish there was some way. Obviously, we could penalize those trucks if we wanted to, but we've got to figure out some way to fix that lap car issue here at Daytona. Corey Case and Nathan Stapleton are going to be the ones who really get held up here by Hamill and Vargas, and they're going to lose a ton of ground. But back up front, Zachary Fitzwater leads the field in the 82. Skylar Taylor is second. But now you got Skep Silver, Matthew Hubert, Jesse Turner, Blaine Keys. These guys are going to form back up in a line, and they're going to close back into the top two because those two are not going to have the speed that a bunch of trucks are going to have here in just a moment.
Yeah, we saw this second pack of trucks that really was losing a lot of time until we caught up to those lappers. But now you have just 2 trucks and then just 3 trucks. And then about 10 trucks here all lined up. So this time, I think the second pack is going to move very, very quickly. They're going to be able to really close up on all these guys up here leading this race. So this should get very, very dicey. I mean, we've got some fast trucks still. We got some very strong trucks still left in this. And we've got the veteran of Zachary Fitzwater. I feel like we haven't said his name up front as much as maybe we used to. But seeing him out here leading the season opener in Season 10 of the Truck Series, this is awesome to see from Fitzy.
And not only that, Zachary Fitzwater wants to break the tie with Nicholas Sambidio on the all-time wins, listed to be win 29 for Fitzwater if he can pull it off here tonight. And I know Nicholas, I don't know how much they really think about it, but we do talk about it quite a bit. It's a pretty big honor to be the all-time winningest driver, and right now it's a tie between Fitzwater and Sambidio. Sambidio is in the second pack. They're about 4 seconds behind. They're really not closing into these 3 guys ahead of them too much. I'm thinking there might have been some damage on Keys and Haas that have really been holding these guys up right here. But it's looking good for Fitzwater right now. I genuinely think he's got the best shot of winning this thing because these guys have not really been able to close in. They're 4 seconds off the race lead, and I think it continues to grow here at Daytona. Maybe not. They're closing in a little bit here. If they can form up to a larger pack here, they'll have a shot. But the thing is, they're running out of time. There's only 5 laps left in this Featherlite Trailers 250. And this race could be easily between Fitzwater and Skylar Taylor here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, this is the thing. The 3 truck group, I should say. They've been battling each other. Silver, the 52 of Hubert and Turner. They've all been going at each other, and of course, guys like us and Keys and all these guys, we're all involved in the accident. They should clear this, and they will. They will. But they're all caught up in the accident, and now Monaco's got around. He was obviously, I think he was clean in that. I don't think he had any. Oh, maybe he does. But they're running out of time, and the thing is, right? I reckon it's going to come down to these front two because 3rd through 5th they're not closing in. And to tell you the truth, with Fitzwater and Taylor, Taylor's not closing in at all. That gap has been about 0.21, 0.22 the last maybe 5 laps. So I'm not sure what... I mean, Taylor's right there in the draft, but cannot gain any ground on the 82.
These guys have to get single file if they're going to have any chance, but that 82 is wired very well tonight for this track, and it's one thing that I feel like this team does very well is formulate good cars for super speedways. And Zachary Fitzwater, he's a good super speedway racer, and this is really fitting into his wheelhouse here. We got 3 laps to go here at Daytona for Zachary Fitzwater and Hairgel Motorsports. Was there any change in the gap that time around? 2/10. They formed up to a much larger pack now, and we'll have to see if they have enough speed for these last 3 laps. They should not run into lap traffic again. The thing is, they were stuck behind those 2 guys for so long that they ran out of time to be able to do it again. But here we go. Will these drivers have enough momentum to close in on Taylor and Fitzwater? They've got a huge pack forming up right now with a bunch of fast trucks. You got Troxel, Turner, Sam Adio, Blaine Keys, Philip Torres, Eric Monaco. They're led by Matthew Hubert and Skep Silver right now, and I think they are starting to reel these guys in. The big question is, will they have enough time? Only 2 laps to go here at Daytona for Zachary Fitzwater in the 82. The gap that time around, 2.1. They are closing in, but I don't think they're closing in enough.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have... I mean, if this was a 30-lap race, I think they would definitely chew them down. You can see they're visually getting closer. But I don't think they're going to have the time to be able to get this done here. It's been a valiant effort, but they really needed that single file line. They're getting closer, but there's not going to be enough time to pass and overtake.
We'll have to see. Anything's possible. We've seen drivers blow their engines from the race lead. We've seen that happen many times before on the channel. I'm not saying it's going to happen here, but you just never know what could happen in one of these races. Here we go. White flag in the air in the Featherlite Trailers 250 for Zachary Fitzwater. The gap this time around, 1.49. They closed in by half a second. But, man, they're just not quite close enough there. Hubert and Troxel leading these lines. And like you said, Matt, Sky Laterla not able to close in on Fitzwater right here. This 82 clearly has the best truck, and all he's got to do is just bring it back around.
Absolutely, and of course he's no stranger to winning at Daytona. They're all going crazy behind, but they're going to run out of time. Maybe if they had one more lap, they would get to the leaders, but Zachary Fitzwater, Taylor cannot close in. Looks like Fitzy's going to pull it off here and get that high-breaking win.
So Zachary Fitzwater is once again going to become the all-time winningest driver on the channel. It's win number 29 in the opening race of the season for Zachary Fitzwater here at Daytona. Skylar Taylor finishes second, Philip Torres, Skep Silver, and Thomas Troxel the top 5. Then Matthew Hubert, Nathan Stapleton, Blaine Keys, LJ Semedo, and Nicholas Samadio round out the top 10 here in a wacky opening race here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. But Zachary Fitzwater, Hairgel Motorsports, they get it done here at Daytona in the opening race of the season. And we'll have to see if that speed translates to the rest of the season. Next week, Darlington Raceway, going to be a completely different ball game over there.
What a strange... I've called many plate races, been a part of many, all sorts of different... One of the stranger races here at the Daytona International Speedway that I can remember. But awesome to see Fitzwater win. I don't recall the last... I mean, maybe I'm getting, like, my memory's blanking, but I can't recall the last... It's been a hot minute.
So his last win was not actually a race I did. It was the opener of the Haas IndyCar Series this season at Auto Club that he won. And Caleb did that race, and that was win 28 for him. So it's been since February since Fitzwater's gone to victory lane, but he just broke the tie there with Sam Adio, and now Sam Adio's got to catch back up again. And, hey, he's going to have some opportunities to do so as the season goes down. But, Stuart, what a goofy race. And it all came down to that double 4 wide that we had, and then another 4 wide after that, and it all just culminated into half the field getting taken out. And then we ended up with what we ended up. But I feel like Fitzwater and this team's very deserving of the win. They clearly had some speed in that truck. They kept it clean going forward, and they're your race winners here in the Featherlite Trailers 250.
Yeah, absolutely. The 82 truck was wired, and you could tell in qualifying that they brought a pretty fast truck. So definitely deserve, and they were able to keep Skylar Taylor at bay for basically the entire run, and he made the move. He made the move when Skip Silver didn't. When Skip Silver probably could have made the move, go 3 wide and pull away from these guys, he didn't, and Fitzwater decided to take it in his own hands, and Taylor followed through. Yeah, he's definitely deserving, but it was a very strange race. It's that's what happens sometimes, I suppose, at Daytona. A lot can happen, and the 4 wides and half the field getting taken out and being involved. The guy I looked through the results here. You look at like Keys and Sam Medeo got involved in that crash. Sameto, like, they'd be happy to take a top 10. I know I'm happy with Sam Medeo finishing 10th considering the damage, but the guy I feel bad for is Corey Case finishing 17th. He actually lost the draft, but he led quite a few laps there, so I feel bad for him. He was the biggest loser from the whole lap traffic thing, but yeah, well, it was a very, very bizarre race, but you can't say that Fitzwater didn't deserve it.
No, not at all. And Matt, you're going to be in tomorrow night's race for the Valvoline 400. Did this race make you any nervous? And I mean, it probably made both of you nervous, considering that you guys got Ladovic up there in the title fight. You're still in contention mathematically as well, Matt. I don't know. What are you looking forward to in tomorrow's Valvoline 400?
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, we saw in the sprint series, and some moments where it got very aggressive. I mean, tonight was just unbelievable. From the jump of this race, we were going absolutely all over the place. If it's anything like last year, I mean, I don't expect it to be too. You're going 3 wide around Daytona International Speedway. Anything, all hell could break loose at any given moment. But I think it'll be a different race. I think we'll see some aggression, but hopefully not to the level, at least that early in the race, that we saw tonight.
It'll be interesting. Of course, with those guys in the Cup Series, their ratings have built up a lot further than these guys have, and I think that's part of why we might not necessarily see what we saw here tonight. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to go down? All I know is that it's going to very much play a huge part in who wins the Wall Cup Series Championship with only 2 races left to go. We'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out. Tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Valvoline 400, the 29th race of the season in the Wall Cup Series. Well, this is just the first race of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We're back next Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time at Darlington for the Mellow Yellow Zero Sugar 200. And that's really where the season begins for these drivers, because here at Daytona, as we very much saw, a very equalizing race. The defending champion finished dead last because she got caught up in a wreck. It'll be a little bit different at Darlington. I think we'll see some other drivers rebound from what happened here tonight. Well, either way, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Valvoline 400 at Daytona in the Wall Cup Series. And a huge thanks to Stuart Gratton and Matt Chuck for joining me here on the Featherlite Trailers 250 at Daytona. Congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater on his 29th career win on the channel. 1 more to 30. That's incredible. That's a lot of wins for one driver in one place. But he's 1 win away from it, and we'll have to see. He may get that tomorrow night. He may get that Saturday in the IndyCar Series. He won the finale at Pocono in the IndyCar Series last year. Who knows how it's going to go down? All I know, you're not going to want to miss either tomorrow night or Saturday with both of these races got coming up. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.